My name is Joe Baker, and as mayor of Kennedy, Texas, there's nothing more important to me than the health and safety of the people of this community. So I've decided to bring you weekly updates on any information that I have about COVID-19 and just how severe COVID-19 is in Karnes County at the moment. So let's take a look at this week's numbers. So this week there is some good news to report. As you can see, for Karnes County, Texas, we are still in the severe risk level, which is the highest of 5 risk levels presented at this website. But the number of daily new cases is much lower than it was a week ago. So as we scroll down, there's some more good news on the vaccination front as well. We have increased up to 42.2% fully vaccinated, which is about 2% higher than it was about a month ago. So that's good news. And in terms of number of cases, we have seen a pretty dramatic drop over here over the last week. We were at a high point of 189.5 cases per 100,000 residents. And as you can see over time, that has dropped down to 77.8 per 100,000 residents. So that is a much better number. And as you can see, this is not a whole lot higher than we were back in February, March. The best time for us was in June. We reached a low point, and then we're back up again in the month of August. And now we're coming back down, so that's good news. And I want to thank Shelby Dupnick for sending me this situation report from the Texas Department of State Health Services. And the information in this report matches what we were looking at earlier, the decline in cases. Give me a moment to get to Karnes County here. And you can see we hit a high point here a week or two ago, and now we're seeing these numbers start to drop off in terms of number of cases. What they're showing is somewhere between 20 and 30 cases per day being reported here in Karnes County. But they do factor out the detention facility cases. The cases that are reported in those facilities is not included in these statistics. If you're still on the fence and you're still trying to decide whether or not to get vaccinated, I just want you to consider a couple of more things. This article I read last week, which is at the American Medical Association website, shows that an AMA survey shows over 96% of doctors fully vaccinated against COVID-19. This survey was a while back in June, and at the time, 96% of the licensed doctors in the United States reported that they decided to get the vaccine. And of the 4% that had not been vaccinated, they said they had planned to get the vaccine. So what we know is that somewhere between 96% and 100% of the licensed doctors in the United States are vaccinated. And I just want you to think about that. I don't think that if getting vaccinated was a bad idea, that many of the licensed doctors in this country would have chosen to get the vaccination for themselves. For those who still have not decided whether or not to get the vaccination, consider this news article that I ran across recently. This is from the New Braunfels newspaper, and the headline reads, 98% of COVID-19 patients in Comal County hospitals are unvaccinated. One other thing that I would like you to consider, if you have not yet decided whether or not to become vaccinated, is this headline recently posted by the Associated Press that says nearly all COVID deaths in the U.S. are now among unvaccinated. And if you read the story, you'll see that it's more than 99% of the recent COVID deaths have happened in hospitals across this country, and they're happening to people who chose not to get the vaccination. So that's my report for this week. The good news is the number of cases has come down pretty significantly over the past week, and I hope it keeps going in that direction. The bad news is we've lost some people here in Karnes County this past week due to COVID-19. And every one of these losses affects all of us in this community. I believe the reason we are having so many cases of COVID-19 here locally in Karnes County is because we're only at about 42% of vaccinations. So I would hope that everyone makes a responsible choice and decides to do what's in their own best interest for their own health, for the health of their family, for the health of their friends, for the health of their neighbors. I would hope they would make the right choice and keep themselves safe. My prayer is for everyone's safety in this community. Thank you for listening. For more information about the coronavirus vaccine, please call the Otto Kaiser Memorial Hospital vaccine line at 830-583-9380.